When I was going into this berm, right there, the reason I stomped on the throttle is I thought it was going to allow the truck to kind of bunny hop over top of the whole berm. All right, it's time for another driver breakdown, and I got bombarded with requests to break down our San Antonio moment from 2024 in the Mohawk Warrior truck. We had that cool little crazy tail whip spin Rooney. I don't know what we're calling it because we're not going to name it. I'm a believer, personally, that we don't name something unless a driver's able to replicate it, right? They got to do it twice. This is just one of those awesome freestyle moments. We can't name every cool thing that happens in the sport of Monster Jam unless it becomes a replicatable move, like so much of what we've seen in the skills competition. But for me, this is just another example of controlled chaos, right? This is as big as it gets. So 2024, I was really passionate about getting big air because the truck was landing so well. Shout out to Matt Del Santer. I feel like I say that every episode. But for this episode, I also have a little bone to pick with Matt Del Santer. I'll get into that in just a minute. But let me show you the moment, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to break it down, and I'll kind of show you examples or walk you through my mindset and then kind of my thought process afterwards. So let's take a look. That's awesome, huh? Now, what was so cool about this is like we did get the big air we were after. First off, before I talk about it, like going into that berm, I want you to listen to my throttle rhythm. I've been talking about that a lot lately, and you'll notice that as I'm midair, you're going to hear me kind of pedaling the throttle, going bop, 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 bop. I'm keeping that tire speed up, but you'll also notice that it stops whenever I land. Right now, after the truck rebounds back into the air before it goes into that next berm, I'm kind of pedaling it again. You can hear me getting that tire speed up a second time. Now, I am getting better as a driver at trying to land and time the throttle again right when you land so it pulls it out. Some drivers are way too early, okay? Most drivers are way too early. That's why they break a lot of axles and stuff in the corners where they're actually on the throttle when the truck hits the dirt. That will break stuff every single time. I think the driver that's the best at his timing whenever the truck lands and he's hitting the throttle at the same time to kind of accelerate out of that landing is Ryan Anderson. And if you notice, he doesn't really break a lot of axles in freestyle, from lands at least, all the crazy other things that he does. Certainly when he's doing his bicycles and stuff like that, like he goes through axles in the moves that he's pulling off there, but he doesn't really blow a lot of axles or corners from landing. And it's because his timing is so good on that throttle right when the truck's touching the dirt, and it kind of pulls it out. I'm not there yet, okay? Like I'm working on that. I've gotten better even this season at that, but you'll notice that difference here in this run. So let me kind of play it. I'm going to fast forward it right to about here, okay? And you'll start listening. I come off the throttle when the pitch of the truck is right? So you heard it. You heard me come off the throttle, it bounced and rebounded, and then I'm giving that a little bit more of a throttle tickle again to get the tire speed back up. Now, here's the other thing. Whenever I come into this berm, it goes right front first. Now, that's where the twist and the articulation comes from. Look at the back of the truck. In fact, I do not remember hitting the rear steer switch. I don't think I did. I think it bypassed the system because of how aggressive that was. Again, right front first, left front, then the right rear touches. That left rear almost never touches. That's why the back of the truck kind of pushes through the berm. It was just the perfect setup for the truck. So I've always said, like in Monster Jam, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good. The best moments are when you're both. But I tried to be ready for this same opportunity this year. I think it was St. Louis. But if I go back and look and showed you that one, my front, and this was in Monster Mutt earlier this season, I'm hitting the front right and the front left. So like the front of the truck hits at the same time, both tires. So if I would have throttled out of it, right, or out of that hit, it probably could have this year rotated me on my roof, which is not what we want. This one was perfect because it was that right to left and got the articulation of the truck to kick around. Okay, now here's what I'm going to admit to you. When I was going into this berm, right there, the reason I stomped on the throttle is I thought it was going to allow the truck to kind of bunny hop over top of the whole berm. That was it. Like, it was such an aggressive hit. I kind of stomped on the throttle, got really good timing, hoping it would kind of hop me unclear the berm, right? And come back on the other side of the backflip ramp and flat land it and get around to another jump. So I was taken aback when it started rotating and flipping around, and midair, I had no idea where I was. However, when the truck started coming back around about right here, I saw the stadium lights. And I've always said, look, when the truck's doing what you want it to do, get off the throttle, because the throttle just makes it speed up. If you want it to slow down, stop the rotation of those big giant BKT tires, hit the brakes, and it'll actually settle the truck back down. So if you watch, as soon as about right here, I'm hitting the brakes. So I'm off the throttle right there because I have no idea where I am. See the stadium lights, I smack the brake pedal. Now watch it as it lands. See the front tires, you can tell really well, they're not turning anymore. I think this is the only reason why we landed and the truck didn't roll all the way over. Like, I'm going to play it in full speed for a second. And you'll watch it kind of settle. As soon as I hit the brakes, it settled the truck. Right there. Right? So had I kept rolling on the throttle, letting the tires roll, I think it would have rolled out of there and kept the front end rolling, and probably would have kept causing the truck to go over on its roof. So it's like I say, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good. The best moments are when you're both. So that was a little bit good because I had the timing right on the brake after I kind of recognized, stadium lights, I can see that. Truck's the right side up. Let's slow it down. Let's just hit the brakes. And then obviously with the fact that the truck just landed perfectly where it was and actually caught the tires to get it to come back down. Now, here is the bone I need to pick. I need to pick this bone with Matt Del Santer, and he made the right decision. But Matt is sitting behind me. If you kind of look at where the truck is right now, he's sitting behind me in those seats with the tech official. Now, Matt's freaking out because it was just a wild moment. And he sees, I think it was either the 4-link or a sway bar. I think it was a 4-link that was bent from that. Makes sense. Like, that was crazy articulation. And he saw it was bent, so he's yelling at the tech official to shut me off. And so I had backed up off the dirt pad, and I was getting ready to go hit the backflip. And so I was fussing at him so bad, like, don't you ever tell a tech official to shut me off unless it's a dangerous situation. Well, look, he has every right to do that, for the record. But at least I enjoyed getting to kind of give him a hard time. Like, let them shut me off, not you. Anyway, so that was my bone that I had to pick with Matt Del Santer, even though he probably made the right decision. The other bone I have to pick were with the San Antonio fans. I finished 3rd in this freestyle competition. Now, it was before the expert judging and things like that, and it was clear that the fans just wanted backflips. And I didn't get a backflip in this run. I was getting ready to hit it after this one, backing up to hit it like I just explained. And so I think I finished 3rd behind Tom Mintz. Shout out to the professor, the man. And then 2nd, though, was Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, who I think he ran right after me. And somehow his score beat me. And that was one of those moments we were all looking around each other like, what in the world happened? I just don't think the fans realized how crazy cool of a moment this was that they got to witness. But that's okay, right? Now we got the expert judging. I think that's helped a lot. So anyway, this is why I say, though, this is just controlled chaos. That, to me, is Monster Jam freestyle. I would love to replicate it. It's not something that you can set up for, in my opinion. It's something you have to be ready for. So if that moment presents itself again, where I'm coming off of a rebound into another face and it's going to hit one side of the truck or the other, I probably will give it a good little throttle pop to see if it can get some movement again. And hopefully we're ready when our moment arises. But I appreciate you guys. This was such a highlight of my career. You guys shared this like crazy. And it's always cool just to see you guys get excited because I know that you love, just like I do and every other driver out there loves, seeing the sport continue to innovate and evolve and push the limits. So this is a testament to you guys, all of the Monster Jam fans. So I don't know where you're going to be next, but I hope to see you in person, and maybe we can pull off some more wow moments just like that one.